Welcome to week 3, everybody. We're now all locked in, a little tighter every day it seems like, but we're going to keep going on with a little bit of schooling. And so last unit we were talking about how organisms reproduce, either asexually versus sexually. Now we're actually going to look at some of the characteristics of the organisms that we have. So the essential questions we are going to ask on this are: what are the basic characteristics of organisms? And how do these characteristics classify organisms into kingdoms? So a couple of things to keep in mind as we move forward. Now, let's go over what an organism is again. You guys know what an organism is. It's anything that's living, an individual, animal, plant, or single-celled life form, anything that is basically living. Now, if it is living, it has what in it? It has cells. My writing's getting a little better with this thing. It's not easy writing with the mouse. So, anything that is made up of cells is considered a living thing, an organism. Now, organisms are classified into groups. So, organisms in the same kingdom have similar characteristics. Based off of how these things look, how they act, how they function, that's how we're going to separate organisms. So, the first characteristic that we're going to look at are called autotrophs. Autotroph is an organism that is able to manufacture its own food. Manufacturing its own food is mostly going to happen through the process of photosynthesis. So it's able to get its energy from the sun. The sun's where it gets its energy, and then it's going to take the basic materials that are coming either through water and the air or carbon dioxide, and it's going to turn that into its own food. Food for plants is also called glucose or sugar. Now, some actually produce food through chemosynthesis, which is chemical reactions. This chemosynthesis, these organisms are far more rare, but like these ones you see here, they're going to happen. This is where there is no sunlight, or generally no carbon dioxide either that you would see for photosynthesis. So this is going to come in the deep ocean, generally where you have volcanic vents that's putting out specific chemicals into the water. These are rare ecosystems. They are hard to get to. We don't experiment with them much because they're the bottom of the ocean. We really can't get there. There might be some strange hot springs or anything like that that can do it as well. Heterotrophs, however, heterotroph is an organism that cannot manufacture its own food, which means it has to eat other organisms. You are a heterotroph. The food that you eat either comes from an organism or is another organism. You eat a salad, you're eating an organism. That's all plants. You eat a steak, that is from an organism. That is probably from a cow. That's beef. All of these things are all other organisms that cannot create their own food. Funguses, however, this looks like a plant to you. It's not. It's a fungus. It actually lives off of decaying other dead organisms. It actually will leach its energy right from them. So as they send out their roots will actually pull out the energy from either a dead log, through dead roots, or like bacteria are able to get it right off of dead organisms. So these organisms are going to be eating other organisms in order to survive. So we're going to stop it right there, and we will come back and talk about other types of organisms on the next video.